The Gilded Age 2 is becoming scarier and unpredictable for the characters. However, things are different on set, with the cast having the best moments and spilling unknown details about the season behind the scenes. While Mr. Russell might be playing a game with his workers, his fellow business colleagues seem not to understand. And just like everyone else in the show, Mr. Russell is also struggling. But it's not the same story with Morgan Spector, who plays the role as he looks perfect behind the scenes. If you didn't know Mr. Russell had some attractive tattoos under his rich man coat, now you do, as the actor loves to relax and show off his authentic self on set. Just as viewers are always eager to see Mr. Russell, they are also rooting to see more of the love shared between the character and his wife, Mrs. Russell, as they can't help but adore the two lovers. Interestingly, just as they share intense passion on screen, they do even better behind the scenes, as you can see them both in action as filming goes on. Another exciting drama this season is Marion's engagement, and some fans are still against her marrying Dashiell, as they feel it's not based on love. Also, at this point, many aren't sure if the wedding will take place, but Louisa Jacobson, who played the role, is less concerned about all that on set, as you can see how carefree she is in this picture. The actress also enjoys posing for photos and taking selfies on set. Behind the scenes, Louisa is seriously rooting for Larry and Marion to become a couple.
I would ship Larry and Marion. Larian. They should be together.
But you won't believe who else is a fan of Larry and Marion on set.
I've always been captivated by the young Mr. Russell and that sort of flirtation that he and Marion had.
So even though Aunt Agnes doesn't see things the same way, fans can be glad that the actress Christine Baranski is on board. At the beginning of season 2, Oscar looked like he was doing well and had moved past Gladys's rejection, but now he has gotten into even more trouble and debt with Maud Beaton's scam. However, even if Oscar and Gladys are barely friends in the show now, the cast, Taysa Farmiga and Blake Ritson, are very close on set, and they can't help but enjoy each other's company during filming breaks. Oscar is a gentleman on and off the screen, and the pictures of him chilling on set prove that. It's hard not to notice the fantastic costumes Bertha Russell wore this season, and they are all a significant step ahead of the ones she wore in season 1. In season 1, Bertha couldn't comfortably wear her tight corsets at one point because she was heavily pregnant, but now her character enjoys more vibrant outfits. The actress Carrie Coon revealed that the dresses she wore at Newport are her favorite this season. Despite the clothes being very stylish, the actress mentioned that they were also very protective against the weather, and she couldn't have liked anything better. Many fans may have noticed that the costumes aren't just over the top, but very modern, as they look like outfits that were way past the time and period the series is set in. However, Carrie said that the particular style was made for Bertha to show that she was above the trend and way past in terms of fashion and styles. So the inaccurate representation of history in outfits for Bertha was intentionally made that way because of her personality.
They were the eye-popping, fresh, modern person in the room.
She also added that they set out to shock the fans with the costumes, and there's a big reason for that.
You know, we're accustomed to seeing these period pieces now, and so we actually have to cater a little bit to the modern eye, I think.
Etiquettes are also a massive deal in the Gilded Age concerning how they eat, greet, talk, and who they talk to. And the cast had to follow all these things on set, even when they weren't filming. However, Carrie is the police of etiquettes behind the scenes of the Gilded Age, always ensuring little things like holding a wine glass are done the right way. And that's no surprise, because her character is the queen of the New York elite society in the show. Even though etiquette and being well behaved are considerable parts of the Gilded Age, the cast was hyperactive and playful on set.
It was nice to realize you were amongst people that you didn't have to pretend to be more aloof that you actually are.
Speaking about being well behaved, Mrs. Russell isn't taking those lessons seriously whenever the tape isn't rolling, as this picture of the actress on set shows how goofy she gets when not portraying the powerful character. Another shocking event in season 2 is Mr. Fortune and Peggy's love story. Although this relationship looks scary and hopeful at the same time, a significant setback happened to it behind the scenes. So many of the characters in the series are based on actual historical figures, and Mr. Fortune is one of them, but the show's creators have planned to have Fortune and Peggy get together without drama and have a happily ever after. However, they were shocked when they discovered that Mr. Fortune was married at the time after doing their research on set, but they managed to turn it into a dramatic twist instead.
It created a nice tension and drama for Peggy's character this season to not be so perfect and get to make mistakes and see her humanity a bit. But I think they were hoping that we'd get to run off into the sunset. But history and Google.
So they don't always have all the facts before filming, and in this case, it could ruin Peggy's second chance at another love story. But fans hope the twist turns out well for them. In season 2, viewers saw more of what the Black people were still facing in the South of America as Peggy and Mr. Fortune traveled for the opening of the new dormitory in Tuskegee, Alabama. While this moment is a highlighted historical detail from the series, it felt even deeper behind the scenes. Denny Benton, who portrays the role of Peggy, mentioned that the set changed as many Black people were present for that scene. As they recreated the iconic moment again, they all felt what it meant for Black people at the time. So it was a very emotional scene to film on set.
It felt ancestral in a powerful way. And then we all started like, I don't know, something happened.
However, if you've been rooting for Mrs. Russell in the opera war, you might have to reassess the situation, as Mrs. Aster has some surprises planned. And Mrs. Russell knows this too, and fans can see how shaken she was in episode 7 while Mrs. Aster was with the Duke. So, with how crazy this rivalry is, you will be shocked to see how these two get well with each other behind the scenes as they pose in their colorful outfits in the world of the Gilded Age. These particular pictures were taken on the most heated day between the two women. Mrs. Aster felt embarrassed after thinking Mrs. Russell would openly accept her offer of getting her a box at the academy. Also, Carrie mentioned that the room was hot that day, and having to wear heavy costumes while having such a serious conversation during filming was a lot to handle. Of all the women in the Gilded Age, fans can tell that Mrs. Fish is super fun and always ready to listen to gossip and giggle about it. However, the actress who plays the role, Ashley Atkinson, is even more fun on set, and here are pictures of her being goofy with Carrie. She's also amusing, and these pictures of her with a sunshade and in her costume are hilarious. Even Donna Murphy, who plays Mrs. Aster, will surprise you with how fun and playful she can be.
Oh my god, Mrs. Aster!
It's usually assumed that a show like The Gilded Age wouldn't need body doubles because there's no stunt involved, but this behind-the-scenes image shows Carrie still required a body double on set, and many of the other main characters had too, as it was a well-detailed production, especially for this season. Aunt Ada is going through a lot this season, and viewers are hoping she gets something out of this season that will help her bear the loss of the husband she recently married. But even though it's a terrible season for the character, she has some gorgeous and bright dresses to wear while going on dates and experiencing a refreshed love. However, you will love these pictures of Cynthia Nixon looking good in the costumes behind the scenes even more. Although her love story didn't last as expected, the cast, Cynthia and Robert Shawn, have known each other longer as they played each other's siblings in a 1985 Broadway show before reuniting as lovers in the Gilded Age, and their off-screen relationship helped their short-lived but perfect chemistry in this season. Even Aunt Ada's pet Pumpkin and Cynthia's cat Aurora had a lovely time being on set with the actress, as it's such a sweet location for everyone involved. But then, the most goofy moments for the cast on set are when they take off their costumes and catch their breath as they hang out with each other after a long filming day. What do you think of these fun moments and details behind the scenes of The Gilded Age 2? Share your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.